The notebook was a cheap thing, spiral-bound, dog-eared, the kind you toss in a desk drawer without thinking. I found it wedged beneath a stack of last year's tax folders while I was hunting for a stapler. The cover advertised a long-defunct pharmacy chain. Inside, the first half was filled with grocery lists, old passwords, and the occasional doodle of a cat wearing sunglasses. Harmless detritus of a shared life. Then I turned to a blank page near the back and saw my wife's handwriting, tight, slanted, urgent. The date stamp at the top read 3 weeks ago, March 14 to 11:42 p.m. He thinks I'm at the office. Again. I can't keep doing this, coming home smelling like someone else's soap, making up deadlines. But when I try to stop, I panic. What if this is the only place I feel alive? What if he sees it on my face and everything breaks? My pulse stuttered. I sat on the carpet, surrounded by the evidence of our ordinary life, manila folders, a broken pencil sharpener, the stapler I'd never found, while the words rearranged the furniture in my head. For 6 months, Marisol had been chasing a promotion. She left early, returned late, answered emails at 2 a.m. I'd brought her coffee in mismatched mugs, rubbed her shoulders while she stared at spreadsheets, told friends she was killing herself for the next step. I'd even defended her when my mother muttered that promotions shouldn't require new perfume every day. The notebook entry was short, but it detonated every loose question I'd tucked away. The unexplained charges at restaurants near the river, the sudden love of spin-class leggings though she'd never owned a bike, the faint scent of cedar shampoo that didn't match our citrus shower gel. All of it snapped together like pieces of a door I now had to walk through. I heard her key in the lock at 12:07 a.m. She moved quietly, thinking I'd be asleep. I stayed on the living room couch, notebook open on the coffee table, heart hammering loud enough to wake the neighbors. When she saw me, her smile flickered, relief first, then caution. "Hey babe. Long night. I'm beat." She dropped her bag, kicked off heels, walked toward the hallway. "Read it," I said. She froze. Her gaze landed on the notebook, on my hand steady against the page. The apartment hummed with the sound of the refrigerator, the distant hum of traffic, the echo of every lie she'd told. Color drained from her face. "Where did you find that? Does it matter?" I asked. "Is any of it true?" Her shoulders sagged. She nodded, almost grateful to be caught. "It's true." The words hung between us like a broken ornament, sharp, glittering, impossible to glue back together. She started talking, fast, then slow. The affair had begun 8 months ago, a consultant brought in to streamline workflow. Lunches turned into late coffees into hotel rooms. She said she ended it twice but drifted back, addicted to the adrenaline, to feeling desired rather than dependable. The promotion story was armor, easy, solid, something I'd never question. "I thought I could compartmentalize," she whispered. "I thought I was protecting you." I laughed, a short, ugly sound. "Protecting me from what?" "You." She had no answer. We sat in silence until dawn grayed the windows. Eventually she went to the guest room. I stayed on the couch, staring at the notebook, at the confession that had been there all along, waiting for a stapler to set it free. The next days were a blur of phone calls and canceled dinners. Friends asked if we were okay. I said we were working through things, because it was easier than explaining that my marriage had been murdered by a shopping list pad. Marisol moved out within the month. She left the notebook on the kitchen counter. Maybe she thought I needed it for evidence, or for closure. I didn't open it again. I threw it away, but not before tearing out the last page and filing it with the divorce papers, next to the list of assets and the letter about selling the house. Some nights I still smell cedar where no cedar should be, and I remember that feeling, the world tilting, the floor dropping away. But I also remember this: the truth rarely shouts. Sometimes it whispers from the bottom of a drawer, waiting for you to be brave enough to listen.